guys, so I was going to record my first experience with stamping and watercoloring, and I did, but there was an issue with my phone and it didn't record it because the battery was low and it popped up that warning and quit recording. So anyway, I already tried once and this is the result. It's not great, but it's not maybe as bad as I was afraid it would be. So anyway, it's the first time I've actually stamped with a real stamp in like probably 12 years. I've been doing just digis. So anyway, I'm going to use this old stamp pad I have called it's by Stampin' Up, called Pink Pirouette. And it did pretty good with the coloring, but it's also a little hard for me to see. But also it just blended right away, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it again. One of the reasons I don't stamp is usually because, well, I don't like having to clean the stamps that much. And I end up with little dirty stamps sitting around all over the place. And also, I don't like, they're all like nice and new and crystal clear, and I don't like when they get stained. That bugs me. One of the reasons why I'm doing underline coloring is so I don't have to use black ink on my stamps. And then also, I have a tendency to put more pressure in one place than another and end up with my lines not exactly perfectly even, and that bugs me too. But anyway, there we go. So it's very, very light and a little hard to see, but the color just blended right away when I was coloring earlier. So we'll try that again. And so this was my second attempt. My first attempt was just scribbling to see what the paints were like, because, well, I have this watercolor palette, which is a Sakura Koi watercolors. And then I have this one, which says Kuretake. And then I have one I bought my daughter, which I borrowed just to test out because it was cheap watercolors. And I wanted to see if there was a real difference. And I couldn't really tell a difference that much, honestly, in the cheaper ones and the less cheap ones. I felt like the difference came in more with like the color I was using or the amount of water I was using. And then I also got these off of Amazon and this cheap watercolor pad from Hobby Lobby, which is 140 pounds. I kind of wanted to try to use the back side because I liked that it had less pressure for coloring the face, because I noticed that, I don't know, I just didn't like the texture on the face. But anyway, I'm afraid that will go badly, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the side I'm supposed to use. And this time I'm going to try, I think, coloring with some green, because last time I did it with the blues and purples. And also I mixed a color up to use for the skin, and then I noticed that this brown here was pretty much the same. So it takes some getting used to looking at these and trying to decide what color it's going to look like after it's put on. And I forgot that I had to color in these eyes so that they won't disappear. And I can go back and fix them later. With a micron pen. I should do the nose and stuff too, right? Yeah. Because this is a water-based ink, so I guess it will just kind of blend away. Okay. Now, this time, instead of mixing up the color, which I did before, I'm just going to use this one, I think, which says 194. I don't know what color that is, but it looks like a pretty decent skin color. So for me, starting out, I don't have to try to figure out which colors I like or which combination of colors I like. So I'm just going to use this one. So you guys who are used to watercoloring, you may cringe at some of the stuff I'm doing because I don't know. Still don't know what I'm doing after that one little try at it. It still just feels a little bit new, but when I was a little kid, I painted with the Crayola watercolor palette, which is obviously cheap and not anything like these. And then when I first started making cards, I kind of did watercoloring. Let me see what you're seeing. Okay. I kind of did watercoloring with my Stampin' Up! Markers because they're water-based, so they will spread around. Now, when I did this one, and I was trying to do the cheeks, I'm not really sure how you do that with watercolors. If you do it, like, maybe I should stop and try it now. Last time I went and did it after I had done the skin, so I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to, but I'll just go ahead and do it the way I did it a minute ago. And lost my paper towel. I'm trying it out with this little fairy because she's not quite as small and detailed as some of my new releases this month. So I thought it might be easier. Look at that. It's just not blending at all. What in the world am I doing wrong? I kind of thought it would just get wet and smear. It's not doing that. So coloring skin, would you guys who have experience with this color the whole skin, just like one light color and then go back and add shadows, or kind of like what I just did with the shadows and then spreading them around? I don't really know which way. This doesn't seem perfect, but maybe the other way would work better. I have more experience with acrylic paints than I do with watercolors because a long time ago I used to do a lot of murals for my kids in their rooms and for my family and for like friends of family and for people I worked with and some of their clients, and so I would use acrylic paints to do that. And I don't know, I just always played around with acrylic paints when I was using paints before. So I've just never really tried watercolors. And I've painted along with Bob Ross a few times with the oil paints, but first time with watercolors. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I know that watercolor is kind of like loose and you kind of have to not maybe worry about it being as perfect, but kind of can't help it. Yeah, I'm sure that I'll get a little better at it as I go. This is a super bright pink. Also wondering, do you use your dirty brush to grab paint up? Because I noticed it's leaving like bits of paint on top of the other paint, and I wonder, is that going to show later when I go back and get paint from there? Do I need to clean it first? Any advice? That's like a real little circle. That's not too great. Okay, this side's a little better. Y'all, this is not beautiful. Just gonna work on it. Okay, here. So usually whenever I've tried new stuff, I look up videos and watch other people do it. But I've been a little busy with some stuff lately, and I just thought I would just try it on my own. This might have been a mistake. We shall see. I feel like I need a magnifying glass. This little tip of this paintbrush is just like so fine. It's like 2 hairs. Well, that is pinker than I wanted it to be. Maybe does it get lighter as it dries? I don't know. Let me try taking some off. That's a little better. I don't know if you guys can tell if that's better, but it looks a little better to me. So it's a little bit splotchy looking, not like as smooth as I would like it through here. I'm gonna get some more paint. I'm kind of using my brush maybe drier than you should because I'm just not sure. And I'm afraid I'll lose control of the paint if it's just running all over the place. So I'm a little scared. Ooh, that's not good. I don't know how much you can manipulate the watercolors without messing up what you've already done. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone and try the hair again. Let me see, I got this new tiny brush. It's super quiet in my house today. I'm not used to this, so my 11-year-old went back to school for the first time since COVID. And I feel a little bit alone in here. It's just me and my dogs. And they're actually pretty chill today, which is unusual because they bark a lot. You guys might get the pleasure of hearing that any minute because you just never know when somebody's going to come by or something. Okay, that's black. I don't know what color that is. But this definitely is black. So I don't know what that is because I would think that's black. Well, I'm just going to put some of this black on here anyways because it's already on my brush. and I'm just kind of experimenting, so that's fine. I don't have a real color in mind for her hair anyways. I am curious though what these other two colors are. So I'll have to dip in a second and see what they are. That's just looking like gray. Let's see what this one is. Number 004 also looks black. Maybe it's me, but I'm not seeing any difference in those two colors here and here. Really not seeing a difference. I can't test out this one because my brush is telling me to use my finger. Oh, that's dark blue. I don't want that one right now. Yeah, these two look the same, but there are different numbers on there, so I guess they're different. Anyway, I'm gonna go across here. Yeah, I think I'm definitely maybe not using enough water and being chicken about it. But I just don't want it just floating around all over the place, everywhere. We've got some hair. All right. Now this side. Oh, that was wetter. Well, that's a big difference, using it with the more water over here than what I just did over there. Big difference. I probably should have added this last, right? Because that's gonna get smudgy now when I do the wings. Did not think of that. Oh well. Maybe I'll just try to avoid it. So these hairs, I will save those. Do them after the wings. And then switch back to this brown. I'm gonna do this side first because it's already got more white open spaces than that side. No, I don't like that either. It's kind of just all there. Okay, I'm gonna try this color. Maybe I just blended a little more than I wanted to. Oh well. We're just practicing because maybe it'll be good enough to save and finish and put on a card. I don't know. I can always go back, I guess, with some colored pencils if I don't like everything. Yeah, I didn't leave much highlight in there, so that's not fantastic, but maybe I can get some off with just some plain water. Is that how that works? I don't know. We'll see. I feel a little weird talking to myself in here. Not used to that. But I'm not used to that, but I'm always like thinking thoughts in my head, so I shouldn't feel weird about it at all. Okay, so now I want to compare this first attempt at hair with this attempt. Well, neither one is perfect, but there it is. Now, I think I'm gonna go back to the brush I had originally to do the hat. I know I've got more hair to do, but I want to go up this way now and get this kind of finished because I don't like looking at it like this. So this time I think I'm going to start with just, I don't know if I want to just like paint it. I think I'll just paint the whole thing out this time and then go back with the darker colors and see what happens. That doesn't really feel like the thing that I should do though, because it's not, I don't know, it's not what I would normally do. But yeah, I'm just gonna like fill this in real quick and see what happens with it. Wow, you can get your colors just so very light with the watercolors. Like so very light. Well, what's gonna happen if I try to make this green and pink? I might accidentally make some brown. I don't know. Here I go. This could be like huge mistake right here. Whoosh. I don't know. I kind of like it. Yeah, kind of feeling that right now. I kind of am. So I'm going to put a little heavier green right. And I'm just doing like ambient type lighting because I don't want to try to think really too hard about which direction my shadows are in because I'm just really playing around with the paints and trying to like concentrate on learning and getting like a feel for how the paints work. And then I can worry about maybe some other time, like trying to make the shadows coming in from a more specific direction. So that's fun. Do these get lighter as they dry? I'm curious about that. I feel like they probably do. Because I'm looking at it thinking it's a little darker than I wanted it to be, but maybe it's going to get lighter. Yeah. You guys can tell me if I'm just doing this like completely wrong. Because I don't know. And maybe there's just not even a wrong way, right? When it comes to painting. I've just always kind of like gone at it and just whatever feels natural is just what I've always done. This down here where it's darker is kind of a little muddier than I would have liked. Okay, so there's that. Now I don't know where I want to go from here. Let me think. I guess I should start with coming back and finishing her skin areas. Ooh, it's a lot of paint. Okay, I need to get some kind of shadow there because to differentiate between her face and her neck, because they're kind of just looking like one right now. I am just going around these inner edges first to get some of this paint off my brush because I think it's a little more than I wanted. And anyways, that way maybe I'm working on some shadows. I don't really know if this is the way to do it, but this way I'm just kind of deciding where I'm wanting them to be. Okay, so I'm gonna get just like a little more dark on there so I can try to add a little shadow here. That's didn't take much. Okay. This may end up sped up because, well, I'm feeling like I'm a little boring today. The first video, I just chatted and chatted and chatted. But I think I already said everything I had to say, and now here I am making the second video, and I'm just boring you guys to death. I feel like, I know. I used to have some watercolor paper a long time ago that was smoother and felt kind of like cloth. I really liked it. I don't remember what it was called or anything like that. I think it might have been hot press rather than cold press. And when I was searching at the store for some watercolor paper, I couldn't find anything but cold press. And I think that might have been the difference. You guys tell me if you know what I'm talking about, but like this is kind of stiff and it was, I don't know, it was just like softer and it felt a little softer and it was a little smoother looking on top. So I would like to find that kind again because I really liked it. So one of the differences from when I used to do some watercoloring with the markers, obviously markers are different because they're, I don't know, they're more precise. I would just go around where I wanted the shadows and then spread it out from there with my brush, and honestly, I wasn't that good at it. It wasn't that pretty. I could probably find something that I did that way to show you guys, but also back then, I did stamping all the time and I would emboss it first, so it kind of give me a clean edge and hold the paint in. Well, now I'm trying to be careful, and I've got this textured paper, so it's leaving me with less smooth looking lines than I would like. And I think for some illustrations that's great, but I don't know, I just wanted it to look a little bit smoother for this. It's pretty okay. Okay, now I think I want to do the wings so that I can finish the hair. So I'm just tracing the hair in because I guess it might disappear a little bit once that's sloppy, sorry. Okay, so now I have that hair there, and so I'm gonna, what color should I do the wings? I think they should be really watery. So I'm gonna just start out with the green and just do them really like super watery. Well, I'll try not to get too close to my hair because I guess that will smudge it, right? Probably watercolors are really great actually for fairy wings because they're should be transparent anyway, and the paint is so transparent. Okay, there's one. And now, oh, see, now I've got that watercolor there, and I'm gonna have to try not to smudge it. That's gonna be, I'm afraid, hard. I'll start down here. And maybe I need to dry my brush off before I get over to there. Also, maybe I got too much paint. I mean, too much water. It's just like very puddly. Okay, there. Now, this one looks a lot lighter, doesn't it? Again, I don't know if that's because it dries lighter or if I just really didn't get as much color in this one. So I'll just go back and add a little more just to be sure. Okay. I'm gonna do a little pink in there now. A little bit. Okay. And this side was already getting dry now, so it may end up looking completely different from the other side. Yeah, it's kind of not like smearing in like the other side did. maybe I should just like wet it all so it can blend in the same kind of way. However, I could always go back and add glitter to these wings because, you know, fairy wings. And then it's not really going to make a difference, right? Okay, now the dress. And then, or maybe I should go back and finish this little ponytail. So, yeah, I'll do that first, and then I'll do the dress. Well, I'll do the black areas, and then I'll go back. Definitely a different feeling to what I'm used to doing lately with either pencils or markers. So that's fun. These, which I bought, are like middle of the road, I think, as far as price. I didn't want to buy really expensive ones because I don't plan on just concentrating on watercoloring. I like to do a lot of different types of coloring and switch back and forth. And I do end up using my pencils a lot because they're just really good at coloring tight spaces. And maybe it's me because I'm used to them, but yeah, I'll probably not ever buy the really expensive watercolors because I didn't even realize that they would go up in that kind of price range. Like, they can be very expensive. And also, like I said, I tried my daughter's, the set that I got for her for Valentine's Day, and they seemed to work really well, and they were cheap. They were, I think it was like $20 or $24 for a set of 30 something colors. Really cheap. And a lot of, I can't really tell the difference in like the way they blended or the saturation of the colors as compared to these that were more expensive. I think I might have a picture of hers in my phone. When I first got all the watercolors, I think I took a photo. So I'll look and see if I do. And if I do, I can post it. So that you guys can see. Why is this hair looking like completely different hair color than the hair up here? I probably need to fix that. So as an illustrator, it's hard for me sometimes to sit and color something or paint something when I feel like I should be drawing something new or tracing something out digitally that I've already drawn. But today, I just really felt like having... I started out the day drawing a little bit, and then I thought, I just really wanted to like relax and have some fun with painting because I don't always get to do that very often. Well, now that my daughter's back in school and we're not homeschooling anymore, I should have more time for doing lots of things. So maybe I can make a little bit of coloring every day part of my routine. That would be nice. That would be a nice change. Well, there's a lot more gold here in her ponytail than there is. Let me try to bring some of that color in up here so that it'll match. I think that's a little better. Maybe I just need to add a little more dark into the shadows on her ponytail. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that, but first attempt, right? And I'm just trying to learn something new and have some fun. So I will try not to be too critical of what I've just done. And now for the dress. So I'm gonna start out, let's do, I think I'm gonna do just mostly green on the top. Ooh, that is messy right there. Don't know how to fix it. Let me see if I can like erase it with this. Listen to me panicking. It's just paint. Well, the thing about acrylic paint is if you mess it up, it's completely opaque and you can just paint right over it. So that's one thing about those which I like doing, because I always felt like I didn't have to worry too much if I messed something up. I wouldn't have to start over because I knew that I could just cover it up with more paint. Well, these are not like that, so I'm a little bit like nervous about messing up. Because I know that they're transparent, right? So I can't just go back over it. If it's ugly, I guess I would have to start over. And I'm not into that. I've always been a little impatient with myself about learning something. Like, I always want to be able to do something on my first attempt. I'm not good about thinking I'm going to just practice it until I get it right. Mostly maybe because, I don't know, I just feel like I don't have time for that. Like, I just need to be able to do it and have it done. So I'm going to go back, and I think I'm just going to add a little bit of a green shading in here because it looks a little flat. So I just diluted that so that I could spread it. It worked. Yay. Just trying to figure out and learn what works with these watercolors. It's all right. I'm sure that once it's got some glitter on those wings that they'll be okay. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a hair. I thought I had made like some mistake and some blob of paint that wasn't going away, but it's a hair. I can see that now. And I forgot about those little hairs. I need to go back in a minute and darken those in with some hair color. Also, I'm feeling like the arms seem messy. I think this one is just because the wing is not all the way down where it should be. There, that's better. Yeah, I think that was like the wing that wasn't quite connecting making it look a little messy. There. Better. Okay. Still looks a little flat, but I'm not going to get too caught up in those details right now. Just going to go ahead and do something with the skirt. I'm going to slap some green on here. That's fun. Seeing how it, how you can get that ombre effect like that. Which I'm just not leaving it that way, but it's fun to see it happen. I think I'm going to switch to some pink now. Ooh, that's so pretty and bright. Okay, that I did not plan on. That's a watercolor thing, isn't it? That sort of like spread out of color, which I was not expecting. Whew. And that's what I mean by the pink and the green could go brown. That's what's happening right here. Not cute. Not cute. Wow, that just really spread. I don't know why that wasn't happening up there. I'm glad it didn't, but it's surely happening down here. If I use too much water, I guess it just depends on the look you're after. I was not after that. So, wasn't after that sort of spread out look. This is looking like a mess. Also, that's kind of drying faster than I realized that it would. Except over here where it's just really puddly for some reason. What am I doing, guys? This looks like such a mess. Ew, no. I've done this whole thing and been pleasantly surprised by my results for my second time, but this skirt is not turning out for me. It is looking quite ugly. I'm going to try to push that green back up. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. Maybe I should have, it's just maybe too much paint. I don't know. Yeah, I did okay till we got to the skirt, and this is just absolutely a mess. Not feeling it. Oh, maybe I can like dab some of that up. That's better. Still looking a little brown over here, which is just not what I was after. Maybe I'll try bringing in a little more color into the skirt to try to correct it and come with the result that I can live with. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I think I've just got some stuff happening here. Some unexpected stuff. So I'm gonna try. I don't know. I need help from one of you amazing watercolorists. Like, where am I going wrong trying to blend together this pink and green? And why is it looking just so muddy? And just like not a desired result. Really not. Not at all. Maybe I didn't leave enough white space between. I'm going to get some purple on here and see what I can do. If I add in a little bit of purple. Still not loving that. Not really. So I'm going to put a little more pink over here on this side. See that little messy, like right at the elbow? That's not good. Just going to bring the skirt up a little more. Maybe I'm just someone who likes to be a little in control for using paints that just want to go everywhere. I'm just kidding. I think I actually will like them if I get the hang of them. And maybe I have to be more accepting of things not going exactly like I want them to go. Maybe. There is just no kind of, there's no kind of good blend happening here. I don't know. The idea of what I was seeing in my mind is not playing out on this paper right now. It's really not. Okay, so I'm going to come back now and just do some voiceover because what happened is my husband got home and the dogs just went crazy and nobody wants to hear a barking toy poodle. Trust me, she's loud. Also, my husband came into the room and he was like, "What are you doing in here? Who are you talking to?" So I'm just going to record over the rest of this. And as you can see, I'm trying to add in more colors. I thought maybe if I added in some more green, I don't really know what I thought that was going to do. It did not help. It just kind of gets worse from here. And the colors are just, the blend is harsh and dark. It's not kind of light and pastel like I wanted it to be. So at this point, I really don't think there was any saving it. When I first started practicing with markers, I had one instance where I messed up also and wasn't able to fix it. And I have found the best solution to be, as awful as it sounds and slightly murderous, chopping the fairy up into pieces and removing the bad parts and just redoing them. So that's what I did here. I cut her apart and I took the skirt and I traced it out onto a clean sheet of watercolor paper and just painted a whole new skirt. I could have stamped it instead, but I decided just to trace out the one which I had already painted. So I did that, and like I said, I painted a new one, and this time I kept the colors softer and lighter, and I was just much happier with the result. And then I did stamp a new fairy and sort of cut it out, but inside the line smaller so that I could glue all the pieces together seamlessly before I added it to a card. And this time I actually finished a whole card. I had a really fun day creating the whole thing. I used the watercolor paper to do some ink blending and some pink and coral tones, also a little yellow. then I splattered it with the watercolor metallic palette that I showed you earlier in this video. And afterwards, I took some leftover star confetti from a birthday party that I had and glued those on as my accents. So I had a really fun time finishing the card, and I would love for you to visit me on Instagram if you would like to see the finished piece. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I just really appreciate you staying with me until the end of this video. Thanks, bye!